Alright, welcome. As we have a best of 3 TvP between INnoVation, our red Terran in the bottom left-hand side, and Stats, our blue Protoss in the top right-hand side. Starting on Everdream for map number 1. This is a game from the Alpha X Code CD event, still taking place at the time of casting. If you want to go check it out, Alpha X do cast these events live. I get their replay packs off the Matcherino page. I'm sure you can find it if you want to go for a little bit of a hunt. I obviously do give you guys the links to the tournaments and stuff if you want to go find those and so on. As we get this underway in this TvP, just a hello, because we're probably casting this one because it's two great players and it's probably going to go on YouTube. Hello, my YouTube fans. Thank you so much for watching and supporting as always. Don't forget to give the video a like if you enjoy the games, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. Always appreciate it, and let's keep on pushing that sub number up. Especially like the video, because liking the video does so much, you have no idea. Proxy Rax here from INnoVation. We'll see what shenanigans he has in store for us. His Stats comes across the map with his probe as well after putting down the gateway. So he's going to come straight up and realize, okay, well, this is not really a standard game right from the get-go. Sees double gas, he sees no barracks at all. So he already knows that something a little bit funky is going on. And that means that he should delay his Nexus, and he will go Cyber Core and the Zealot. So he's going to get the Cyber Core and the Zealot before he gets a Nexus up, and really use that to deflect what is typically this Reaper proxy. Now, INnoVation, his SCV is going to go running away down to this bottom right-hand side of the map. And he's going to put this over here, so absolutely could do something else with it. Not often you keep this SCV on the map. Okay. Stats is going to drop a Nexus, and he types lol at the same time, the laughing sign in Korea. So Stats is going to proxy a Nexus. Now, of course, we've seen some proxy Nexus lately. The idea to be recalling Adepts into the main base to deal some damage. But hang on a second. INnoVation's dropping a Ghost Academy in the bottom right corner. What the heck is going on? We're going to have proxy Ghosts against a proxied Nexus. Now, I kind of think this looks good for INnoVation, because if Stats is investing into this, when does he invest into the tech that allows him to detect? Right? At what point does he get detection on the map? Maybe not very soon. Is INnoVation just chilling, building a Widow Mine? There's obviously nothing in this main base that can defend this. This Reaper backed away. Okay, Reaper comes back home now. He's going to go in after the probe. He's going to start building a bunker, so he'll have something in the main. Cloak starts from the Ghosts? Yeah, okay. I mean, that's the obvious go-to, right? Get Cloak up and get these Ghosts forward. I think it just makes the most sense given the situation, which is kind of wild. Actually gets the Widow Mine burrowed here, so the recall of the units into the main base. He's going to recall in. The Widow Mine is not going to get the shot before the units move out of range, and now he's going to be on top of this. Okay, Widow Mine's going to try and chase him down. Stats is going to get 3-4 workers already. INnoVation, well, he is building that Ghost already, remember. His Stats starts to get some serious damage done. 6 workers killed. Going to go up to 7, 8. Well, there's a lot of workers going down, but now he takes the Widow Mine shot. 11 workers. That will be all. So INnoVation loses 11 workers right off the start of this. We had a little bit of a pause, apparently, and INnoVation just waiting with the Ghost because he wants Cloak, right? Yeah, usually the way a Ghost Rush often works is if you proxy the Ghost Academy like in the main, you go no Cloak and you just run straight in. Otherwise, a Ghost Academy or racks outside of the base is generally going to be it's going to be cloaked up, and then you come through and, well, this is a Twilight Council as the tech choice from Stats, so he has 0 way to get detection on the field. So this Twilight Council is going to be, useless. These Ghosts are just going to run up, and they could have already killed a probe, but he's going to get right into the main before there's any response to this. And probes are now being one-shot. So you thought you were cool, Stats, killing 11 SCVs? Now there's probes going down, 1 shot at a time. 7, 8. Question mark in the chat from Stats as he does stalk a wall off the ramp. These Ghosts will just sit here and kill off these Stalkers as well. They don't mind. So they sit here and kill this off. The Robo Facility well underway. Now Hellions are showing up as well, and Stats probably felt like he was doing pretty okay in this game, but now he's got Hellions, he's got Ghosts, and he's got all sorts to deal with, and the damage is racking up as the Ghosts are going to continue hunting probes. 19 workers killed. I don't even think a shield battery saves you from the Ghosts, obviously, because 2 Ghosts still just get the 1 shot, so it doesn't matter. 25, 26 workers down, and Stats is below 10 supply. slowly losing his Nexus across the map. GG and a dot. Stats had no detection. He had no way to see what was going on. And INnoVation will take the first game of this best of 3. This was actually awesome. This was a really sick, really sick game. Because not only is it fun to see a Ghost Rush and something crazy, but to also see it like with the Nexus proxied in the main base and the recall actually doing so much damage. This was wow, this was a game, ladies and gentlemen. That was one to go down in the history books. Only 5 minutes long, yet maybe one of the funnest and most different we've seen in quite some time. INnoVation, though, does get the first map under it. Game number 2. And how do you match a proxied Nexus versus a Ghost Rush? As in the bottom left-hand side, our blue Protoss player is Stats, who I don't think is also happy about how that first game ended up going. He probably felt great. He was like, oh my god, he's got nothing. He's not ready for this. He is so doomed. And then he's like, I've got Stalkers to defend Hellions, and then Ghosts show up, and he's like, I do not have any way to fight Ghosts. And that is that. Top right-hand side, our red Terran player, up 1-0, is INnoVation. So game 2 of this best of 3. I mean, in a way, I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen like Ghost Rush be more of a thing with the cloak in a meta which has been so heavily revolving around Blink and so on. I guess it's been kind of heavily revolving around Blink, but also I guess you do just go Blink and a Robo pretty soon after, so it's not that crazy, I suppose. You do have detection usually. Because of how Stats open, he just skipped the Robo for a little while longer than usual, and that's obviously that's obviously what kind of came about to be the problem in the end. As we do have a probe of Stats up into the main base to see what's up, and this time he'll be, I think actually this time probably relieved to see that there's a barracks in the main base. As Stats will come around, checking out the main. Not really much to be seen though, right? This is very standard. It's a 1-gas expand. He will drop the Cybernetics core before the Nexus, and the Cyber core and the Gateway all in position to wall off at the frontiers. That Reaper wall to try and deny further scouting. As we do see a pylon at the front, and then a Nexus obviously in the natural, so everything is standard there. On Eternal Empire, the map where, as we get into a more standard game, you kind of expect those standard macro games. It's easy to take 3 bases, it's easy to go up to 4 bases. As we'll see a bunker in the background here, though, from INnoVation, but Stats sees this so early on. Realistically, this Adept should just be able to go straight across to deny this bunker. The only thing I will say is if the Adept goes straight to deny the bunker, this Reaper might be able to get into the main base for some scouting without being harmed at all, or without being slowed down. So that's something to watch out for. This probe alone is going to get the SCV pretty low. Stats dropping the question mark again. Why are you still building? Give up already, INnoVation. You don't believe you're actually going to get this up, do you? Adept will shade, and this is why it's nice to get the probe shots off, because you don't have to wait for an extra Adept shot. But again, it does give INnoVation a chance to get straight into the main base and scout, and maybe even get a probe kill here. And he was going to run through the mineral line, but then he decided not to, which I think is a smart decision, and Stats has the position on the Stalker to kill the Reaper. So unfortunately the Reaper gets in, but doesn't get a probe, and he dies before he can get any scouting information, so he doesn't know what Stats is going for next. All he knows is this was an Adept and a Stalker as the setup, so no double Adept opener, but Adept Stalker is so super standard. There's really not much to be really figured out from that, as the bunker of INnoVation sets up on the natural. Command center is done. That will morph into an orbital, and he will just get ready to defend with the bunker at the front. Is it going to be here in time? The first Adept is already arriving. But for 3 shots to take down the SCV, it's super close. It's just not enough. And the Marines are in the bunker safely without any issue. Builds the Hellion because he doesn't actually have too much information yet. He's actually going to build multiple Hellions. So usually you see 1 Hellion as a way to follow up for a scout if you didn't get the initial scout with the Reaper. Obviously losing the Reaper means that Reaper and a Hellion combined doesn't happen. It's just a Hellion, and maybe then you don't get much. So maybe in that case it was already going to be just a medevac and heading into a Hellion drop. And that's what INnoVation will look for here for early damage. He's going to go into a Widow Mine as well. So a couple of Hellions and a Widow Mine to set up initially. A few gateways are building up and the Blink on the way. Obviously as expected here. And this is just, well, okay, there's a Robo down as well. I actually didn't see the Robo in production at all. I like the wall off though, so stats will not allow Hellions to just run through. It really does mean the Hellions can only show up via the medevac. And with the Widow Mine as well, oh, let's just see how it goes. I guess the idea is you drop the Widow Mine, the probes pull away, and in the process of the probes pulling away, they naturally stack up. So then the Hellions get quite a lot of splash damage done very quickly. As you have got the blink well underway, it won't be here right away to help deal with this drop. As the two Stalkers gonna patrol in the main base. So they should be close enough to shut this down fairly easily with the Observer of stats continuing into the upper right-hand side. And there's our Warp Prism loading up a handful of Stalkers. Going to take those out and across the map to see what they can get up to as well. So here we go, the Stalkers in the main, but not quite in position. And yeah, there's the probes pulling away. They line up, and INnoVation just doesn't quite get the Hellions. The way the probes pulled behind the mineral line is actually really good to deny these. Hellions getting too much. He still finds 6 workers, will load up, drop down, but he actually misses the shot he needed. Oh my goodness. No, the Stalker's blinked to the wrong side. He'll get a 7th probe. He'll get an 8th and a 9th. Oh, he's hitting the medevac still. The micro from INnoVation is up to 11 workers killed. Wow, that was not meant to be this many. The Hellion micro from INnoVation, completely on point. Now his defense needs to be on point as these Stalkers will trade, and they will actually blink up here. Auto turret goes down with the blink used and gets the siege tank, but you can see the Stalkers die, and the Warp Prism micro wasn't fast enough on some of those Stalkers. Still nice to get rid of a tank, keeps this pressure active, and he is on 4 gateways, so stats really can apply a lot of pressure. Up into the main base here, gets an SCV. Raven nearly gets shot down again. A couple of Stalkers already being saved as the Warp Prism saves some extra units in the main base. Blinking out as well. The rest of the Marines from INnoVation taking some damage. 5 SCVs lost. He at least does have another siege tank up now, although SCV's blocking that tank from getting out because the Raven's being repaired. He's building a Banshee too, which kind of shows just how desperate he is to get anything up that really deals damage in all of this. As you see our Stalkers blinking in, already a bunker taking down. Marines down to the low ground. SCVs are going to start pulling in to defend against this. The couple of mules coming around to try and wrap and to get a grab on this army. An auto turret drops down as well. And that is going to be 7 more SCVs lost. So INnoVation taking quite a bit of damage, struggling to control the Stalkers. It should stabilize now. He's got 2 siege tanks already up. Stalkers blink up into the main and just going to be seeing the attack straight into this main base mineral line. SCVs are going to start to pull. Raven gets shot down. Banshee firing. Marines firing up a storm as well. 18, 19, 20 workers already killed off. INnoVation just lost everything in this main base. And Stats just has some mass Stalkers to, well, try and end this game. A few Zealots will go running in. The tanks will have to target fire down the Stalkers, not the Zealots, because the Zealots, you really don't want those to be... Oh my... What? I was gonna say you don't want these Zealots to be hit by the tanks, because then you get friendly fire on the Marines. He just killed this entire army. Stats just died to the tanks. My goodness, the Marines were there as well, but the Marines felt like they were busy hitting the Zealots. I just didn't expect all those Stalkers to die so quickly. Oh wow, that was kind of brutal. He didn't actually really kill the siege tanks, right? That was the issue. He didn't focus fire down the tanks, so he took multiple shots off the tanks. And if you focus fire even just one tank right away, the amount of damage you take in this is so much less. Well, this keeps INnoVation alive, perhaps, because now Stats has lost so much that INnoVation's weaker economy might just about be able to recover on the 3 CCs against a third base from Stats that was only just now started. This was obviously very aggressive from Stats up until now, and, still is. I only just started to transition. Like I say, it's not going to be INnoVation running away with this game all of a sudden, but it brings INnoVation back into a game that otherwise really felt as though it was absolutely not going to be going his way at all, as extra Stalkers warp into the back here beneath this prism. Gets that refinery, blinks in for the siege tank, will get it. More Marines coming through. The Stalkers in a lot of trouble here. Tank shots continue to go off and continue to do very well. Marines, well, we're going to have the tank to help bring some of these Stalkers low. Extra units from the main base. Again, it gets very close. The Stalkers that survive are all super low HP. Of course, INnoVation is not really building into any other tech from this either. He hasn't got a chance to get the tech labs up on his racks. He's not being able to start up Stimpack because of that. So he is just stuck on Marine Tank Banshee. And this composition is strong for a time. As soon as a Colossus or 2 is out, maybe, not 1, but 2 Colossi are out, as soon as that's a thing, That's a pretty big deal, as the Colossus is about halfway done. Extended Thermal Lance still building. +1 attack on the way. Stats doesn't need to keep warping in a massive Stalkers here now. He just needs to get home to defend. He is down half the army supply though, so Stats already in some trouble because of that. Just going to be seeing the army of INnoVation making its way out into the center and out down to the bottom left side. Stalkers here going in after some of these SCVs, so a few SCVs going down, and just going to be seeing the Stalkers getting surrounded. I mean, the fact the SCVs have to pull kind of tells the story, and he's pulling the SCVs across the map as well. I just don't think you break, especially on Eternal Empire, right? I just don't think there's a position you break with Marines, with no upgrades against Colossi. I just don't see it, as Stats even takes a pretty forward defense here. He comes out the front, but INnoVation took a weirder route around the left side. He has got 3 Banshees. I mean, if there's a way this works, the tanks get a target fire down on the Colossus. He loses 1 tank already, though. Again, he's not really expecting Stats to come in from the right side there. Oh, this Colossus is going to go down pretty quickly. If there's a way, that's probably how. Colossi dying too quick. I mean, he's still cutting off reinforcements of INnoVation. It's Robo and Power 2, so no more Colossus across the map. The War Prism drops the Stalkers off. It will deal some more damage. Still defending the reinforcements over here. This is obviously huge. I mean, shutting down these Marines, shutting down the tank. Still have to deal with this new natural. Those Stats in a bit of a scrappy spot. Starting to lose some probes. He'll recall his army now, and this is the way to do it, right? These 2 tanks are committed. They're sieged up. They can't get away easily. So now you recall straight into this fight. The tanks go down. The Colossus doesn't even take any damage really through this for a long time. Finally got targeted, but way too late. And while INnoVation kills 14 probes, it doesn't make up for 35 SCVs lost from the SCV pull, plus damage across the map, plus how the game went earlier. Good effort from INnoVation to stay in a game that definitely felt like it could have been over much sooner. But Stats just a little too good in the end to let that slip too far. I mean, it definitely slipped a bit further than expected, as Stats does take game 2 and ties this up 1-1 in the best of 3. In the bottom right-hand side of Nightshade, our red Terran player is INnoVation. Taking on the blue Protoss in the top left-hand side from the Freak of Reeks. We have Stats. So 3rd map here, tied up 1-1, and this one going the distance after a pretty fun game number 1 especially. I think it's worth to really bring up again. So yeah, tied up 1-1 in this, and casting just some of these replays from this Alpha X event to fill the gap between ESL Open Cups today. As a probe pops out, and we'll drop an assimilator down. Probes just continue to chrono boost into the mineral line. Rax from INnoVation drops into the main base. Refinery from INnoVation will start up as well, so getting all of that underway as, again, the probe of Stats just comes down to the bottom right-hand side. We'll get into the natural, up into the main, see what's going on. That Rax just going to be coming up to completion very soon. Probe already going to get a few nibbles off on this SCV, so SCV already taking quite some damage. Other SCVs pulling to fight this probe off as well. There's our Rax finishing with the Reaper already starting up. And the Reaper starting. Orbital Command on the way. Cybercore, Nexus, all the standard things so far. No surprises here just yet. And we will have the SCV able to come through and nibble up this probe. Tries to command center down. It is blocked and will refuse to place it out of position. Eventually the probe has to leave, otherwise if it stays around too much longer, the Reaper catches it on its way home. Or the Reaper sees which way it turns, and so then the probe goes down. You don't want to lose the probe. You like to keep this on the map. You like to rescout with it, get a little bit of extra information. All those things that we usually expect to see coming out of this, basically, is what we'll see the pylon on the bottom side from Stats. So gets that pylon set up, bunker, and an extra barracks on the way. So he's already going into the extra racks very quickly here now. That definitely gives him some very aggressive bio opportunities. But what does Stats proxy? Because this doesn't feel like a super quick proxy. Yeah, there's the 2nd and 3rd racks from INnoVation. So he's going to go straight up bio play. this is a proxy Stargate. I'm actually really worried for stats because now, I mean, the proxy Stargate, you're going to have a lot of Marines to fight it off, and then there's not going to be a lot at home to really defend against, like 3 racks of production. It's obviously a bit of an off-meta brand of TvP right now from INnoVation. 3 racks, definitely a way to switch it up, as we do see Reaper and Marine fighting up a moment or two, and this Adept will indeed fall on the back of this mineral line, so that goes down. Stats with the question mark. INnoVation finds out funny, and stats find it kind of sad. As we'll see, this Stargate will finish up in the bottom side, and we'll be able to fly an Oracle into the main soon. He builds a Marauder, I know, but straight into Stimpack. He's also going to go for a Reaper now. I'm not sure if the Reaper is a misclick, because usually you don't ever really want to build a second Reaper. Yeah, he actually realizes it and cancels it, so he does save himself the gas. Stats give INnoVation a compliment. How about that? You're so good at controlling. Wow. If I'm INnoVation right now, I'd be like, question mark? Like, does that even need to be said? Wolof here from Stats, who really is in the dark. You know, he saw the racks and the reactor, but that is it. So as he flies into this main with the Oracle, there's not a lot of Marines here, so he will actually be able to get some damage done. But this is his first time seeing the 2 extra racks, so while he's going to get quite a few SCVs, I do still worry about his preparation for the bio attack. And I mean, you can see his stats is too. 2 shield batteries start immediately, realizing, oh my goodness, 3 racks this early in the game, upgrading? Oh no, you know, researching those upgrades is going to be big if Stim Combat Shield Marine Marauder hits the front. Stats absolutely need shield batteries to be able to stabilize, so Stats definitely with the right idea. And there's a couple of Marines already in the natural expansion, able to push that Oracle away up the right-hand side. And the Reaper of INnoVation is going to go up through to the top. Try and make it into the natural, the main, as the Stalker's in position. Able to turn that Reaper around. Here we go, big Bioforce out onto the map. 5 Marauders, a good chunk of Marines to follow up as well. 2 extra Stalkers from Stats will build up as the Oracle shows up and is able to get a couple extra kills, so at least forcing INnoVation to move away from the SCV line. INnoVation, don't get me wrong, has taken so much damage. I just wonder what is really going to save Stats from this army. Guardian Shield goes down already. Extra Marine Stim in now as well. Just kill the pylon, INnoVation. Kill the pylon, you killed it both. You depower both the shield batteries and the gateways. I can't believe he doesn't get the pylon. The pylon seems like such an obvious choice. And as he continues to just trade out with these probes, he gets 7. He's obviously killed a good amount of Stalkers, but it does cost him his whole bio army. Either worker count overall will even out. I can't believe he doesn't kill the pylon, especially when the shield batteries still have so much energy on them when he's first in range to really just get rid of it so quickly. I feel like that's a mistake, but alas. It's a mistake, but I don't think it matters too... Yes, it's a mistake, but I don't think it's the end of the world as this Oracle of Stats now down to the bottom side. Moves into the main, does a bit of a loop around. Marines, Marauders joining up on the ramp. The Blink is now finishing in the Twilight Council. +1 attack. On the way from INnoVation in the back of the natural as well. And still some Stalkers from Stats. Just to the left-hand side as they're going to blink up into the main base. Marauders already still producing. The blink here means that you just can't blink out right away. The Stasis Ward isn't going to catch anything. The Stats is going to be forced around. He's going to catch 3 of the Marauders, so it takes away some of the bio that INnoVation would use to continue defending. Stats is just up on 6 gates, so he's just looking to try and kill INnoVation with the number of units that he can build right now. A lot of gateways, a lot of damage looking to be done. As these Stalkers cannot make it up into the main just yet. A few SCVs are pulled to hold at the front. Stalkers blink into the main base, and INnoVation again, he's already just stimming toward it to be able to take advantage of the fact that these Stalkers cannot blink out just yet. So, oh wow, and the Stalkers will not blink out either. They're going to stick around. They're going to keep on trying to trade out. More Stalkers going down though, and that's going to start getting very, very expensive very quickly. Other Stalkers coming around, a couple extra Marauders finish up. They'll go straight in. This Stalker in some trouble now. More Marines and Marauders on the bottom side. SCVs will pull INnoVation down to just 10 army supply here as the SCVs are fighting Stalkers and actually getting some kills. Now the extra Marauder shows up. Just one Marauder actually makes such a difference here in these fights. When it's stimmed, it does damage so quickly. I love this, target firing some of the Stalkers on the low ground, because that means they've already blinked away. So if they're not manually pulling back, then they're going to die. INnoVation has a +1 attack upgrade just finished as well, so it's going to be an extra bonus to him being able to defend against this. Down by 10 workers, obviously does have mules to help out with that. Stats only just now starting A third Nexus and B a robo base, so further economy and tech is only just now being established from stats, which kind of allows INnoVation to have taken some damage here while still being in a playable spot. He's even going to salvage the bunker, so he feels very good about his position, defensively at least. I think he knows that the pressure from stats has let up just that little bit. Stalkers wanting to come in, just fighting a little bit. I was just going to be seeing the few Stalkers from stats continuing out over to the left-hand side. Bio from INnoVation up to the top side of this, +1 armor building on the engineering bay and the natural expansion. Colossus from stats continuing to come up here as well, so just Corona boosting that as you can see the Stalkers trying to poke at the front. Marines and Marauders coming down, greeting these Stalkers. Hello, how you doing? Goes and jumps in, will get a Stalker killed off, so Stalker already going down, and now INnoVation gonna bring his army back up into the center of the map. Charge building on the Twilight Council, extended thermal land still on the way. Colossus is about to pop. I mean, at least he's finally getting some tech up here stats, because now he can maybe fight off this bio army. The bio army that is just 2 bases, is just 3 racks. It's fairly all in from INnoVation. If you don't deal damage here, stats has transitioned up. And yeah, INnoVation has upgrade leads, etc. But if you don't get rid of a third base, stats is just up a base for an eternity, okay? I mean, INnoVation starts a third behind this, so it's a late third. Well, the Zealots just don't have charge, so obviously it's a good opportunity for INnoVation to be able to deal damage, and it's exactly what he's doing, but he's only really trading out with Zealots at the moment. He ends up leaving. There's a drop of Widow Mines heading to the natural expansion, so looking for more damage. Widow Mines will unload. Stats is apparently just not paying attention, so he is going to lose so many probes. 16 workers on the kill tab. There's 4 going into that, so that was a 12-kill Widow Mine drop, as Stats just does not pay attention to it. A couple of Stalkers will sit there and just watch for the Widow Mines, perhaps coming back in. INnoVation will just continue to gather up units in the center. So he did build a third CC behind this. I do feel like he's traded out a little bit, and especially with those probe kills, definitely in a position for that third base to be at an okay timing. And now he's already able to start building up Vikings to be able to deal with the fact that there is Colossi and a lot of them coming up onto the map. He's even going to go Ghost Academy already, so INnoVation, as he hits 3 bases, really just says, yeah, cool, I can really tech up a little bit here. Stats just doesn't have any Zealots to protect this army, so Marauder Heavy Force is going to do extremely well. Typically, this is one of those scenarios where you're like, oh, you just don't have the damage to even break through the Zealots, but here, there was no Zealots at all. And without any Zealots, Stats is just going to have to leave the game. I think that's just a repercussion of losing so much on that natural expansion. Because if you don't lose so much on the natural expansion, then you're actually able to keep a lot of this going, I think, right? Like, if you don't lose so much on the natural, you have so many more Zealots in this fight, it's a completely different scenario. Maybe INnoVation getting the third base up kind of evens out the game or so a bit, but yeah, maybe shouldn't be that far ahead. I mean, Marauders and the +1 attack upgrade and +1 armor against 0/0 Stalker Colossus. There's only one way that's going to go, and it went the way of INnoVation as expected. INnoVation is going to win this one out 2-1, and it's best of 3, of course. If you're watching this one on the YouTube, thank you so much for watching, and hope you did enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Maybe check out our Patreon page to help support the content, patreon.com/WardiTV, where we do put 100% of Patreon pledges back into WardiTV tournament prize pools for StarCraft players. So check that out, and thank you so much for watching today. I will see you guys next time.